And we're joined now by the co-author of that report, the U.S. economist Jeffrey D. Sachs. Thanks for being with us this morning, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, what makes people happy?
People are happy when their lives are in order, when the economy is okay, when they're in good health, when they have friends and social support, when their governments are not runaway corrupt, and when people are expressing decency and values, generosity. Actually, it's a cliche, but it happens to be true that giving is better than receiving, and it shows up in why some countries are happier than others. Where generosity is more in evidence, those countries are also reflecting a higher life satisfaction.
Would that spirit of generosity be behind the Nordic countries once again dominating the list?
Yeah, the Nordic countries are the heavyweight champions of the world in well-being. I think it is what in Germany you'd call the social market philosophy, what in Scandinavia they call the social democratic philosophy. It is that everybody should have a decent life, that there should be good benefits, vacation time, leave time for every worker, that society should look after each other. And I contrast that with the Anglo-American view, which is you're on your own. It's a competitive world. It's a tough world. And the United States just keeps falling down in the rankings. So Scandinavia and the Nordic countries more generally have really earned their position with a good political, social system, as well as the good traits of their culture and society.
You mentioned the United States and its approach to life, the individualist approach. The U.S. dropping 14th to 18th place this year. What was behind that?
We're in a full-fledged social crisis in the United States. Last year, I reviewed the evidence that trust is falling, that what we call social capital is coming apart, that Americans don't believe in their government, and how could you, frankly, these days? But at the same time, this year I review 3 epidemics of public health that are also signs of disaster. America is the #1 obesity country in the world. That's an addiction to sugar and processed foods by our awful fast food industry. Second, we have what we're calling the opioid addiction. That's prescription drugs that are killing Americans in this crazy environment of ours where the drug companies advertise like commercial entities and have gotten people hooked on these opioid addictive drugs. And third is we have an epidemic of massive depressive disorder, or conventionally depression. We're seeing more mental illness, more depression, more anxiety disorders. So we got to get our act together. I keep telling Americans, look at Scandinavia. Let's learn something.
Okay, thanks so much for identifying those concrete areas that can be worked on. Jeffrey D. Sachs for us, co-author of the Happiness Report. Thanks so very much, Jeffrey.